Hi, my name is Devashish, and in this video, we are going to learn about continuity. So, this is going to be the first lesson in the calculus part that we are going to cover. Continuity is a very important concept when it comes to calculus. After this, we can cover differentiability. Together, continuity and differentiability constitute so many good problems, so many conceptual problems, which are very, very important with respect to many other examinations. So, we are going to see continuity for piecewise functions. Before going further, let's quickly look at the word of the day, jack around, which is a phrase, and jack around means wasting time or messing around. Use of this word could be, don't jack around, Tom, your exams start next week, scolded his mother. So I hope you're not jacking around and not wasting your time. So coming back to continuity for piecewise functions, let us first understand what is a piecewise function. In the name itself, there is a piece. A function which is broken or which can be defined by pieces is known as a piecewise function. Usually, often when we study about functions, we don't study piecewise functions. Let's say a function sin x, it is not a piecewise function since we know its graph is a single piece. I'm just drawing the part of sin x which is allowed by the screen for me. So I can draw like this and it goes on. Its domain is minus infinity to infinity, so it goes on both the sides of 0. So this is origin, as you can see here, and the sin x graph is a single piece, it's not broken anywhere, and I can define all that graph by a single name, sin x. There are numerous other functions, like let's say y is equal to x square, which is a graph like this. This is a parabola. This is also not a piecewise function, which is a single piece. It goes on both sides of 0 and domain is minus infinity to infinity. It's not defined by different two functions. It's defined by a single function y equal to x square. So what would be piecewise function? I can draw a piecewise function like this. Let's say we have, so this is the y-axis, this is x-axis. Let's say this is a function that we're drawing. Let's say this is a parabola that we have, and from this point we have another function, let's say a line like this. Let's say after this we have a different kind of a function like this, which is defined by some other function. So let's say this purple function is some h of x, this green function is, let's say, some g of x, and this red function is, let's say, some f of x. So this particular function is the combination of three different functions. So this total function, I can, let's say, this is some p of x, and this is a combination of three functions f of x, which is valid for x. Let's say this is some x is equal to a. So this is valid for minus infinity to a, and then we have g of x, which is valid for some a to, let's say, b. So let's say this point here is b. Then we have the purple function that we're talking about, which is h of x, which is valid for b to infinity. And so p of x, which is the combination of all three functions, is the piecewise function. So now let's talk about the continuity of piecewise functions. What does the continuity mean to us? So here is an example where we have a piecewise function and we can check for continuity on different points. This function can be given by x square minus 2x minus 9, which is a red part, which is defined for x less than or equal to minus 3. Then there is a green part, which is x plus 9, which is defined for minus 3 to 2. And there is a blue part, which is 10 over x plus 3, which is defined for greater than 2. Now please note that all these graphs are not matched with their equations. This is just for simplicity, just to make you understand how the continuity can be seen using the graphs. So if at all you can draw the graphs for the given pieces, and if you see something like this, so you can see that the red graph and the green graph are touching each other exactly at a single point. And as you finish up with the red graph, the green graph starts, and the value of both the graphs is same at that particular point. So graph is continuous at x minus 3, which you can see graphically, but graph is not continuous at x is equal to 2, as you can see for the green and the blue graphs. So this is a very simple method to check continuity by drawing the graph. If you see some breaks like these, which is not a good thing for continuity, this function is not continuous at x is equal to 2, but this function is continuous at x is equal to minus 3. But this is done by using graphs. What if drawing graphs is not possible? What if you just have this function given and it is asked for you to check the continuity at different points, let's say at x is equal to minus 3 and x is equal to 2? What shall be done? Let's see. A quick definition for continuity would be, if we have to check the continuity at x is equal to a for f of x is said to be continuous at x is equal to a if limit of f of x as x tends to a is equal to the value of the function at a. Now there is a catch. The left hand side is not very straightforward. The left hand side is talking about the limit of x going to a, and you know that the limit exists only if the limit of x going to a from left hand side, which is denoted by a negative sign at the top of f of x, which is equal to limit of f of x when x approaches a from positive side. So if this matches, if this is true, then only the limit exists. So first you have to check this condition, that you have to check whether approaching the given point from left hand side and right hand side gives the same limit, and if after that the value of the function at that particular point is equal to that limit, then we say that the function is continuous. If at all this condition here is not matched or is not fulfilled, then the function is discontinuous. So you don't have to check for the value of the function at that particular point at all. So using this particular definition, we can always find out whether the function is continuous or not at a given point. So let's check the continuity of this function at x is equal to minus 3. At x is equal to minus 3, so we have a is equal to minus 3. So we want limit of x tending to minus 3 f of x to be equal to f of minus 3. So f of x is x square minus 2x minus 9 for x is equal to minus 3. And so the value of f of minus 3 is 9 minus 2 times minus 3, which is plus 6 minus 9. So 9 plus 6 minus 9, which is 6. And so we have to check whether the limit of f of x as x tends to minus 3 is equal to 6. So first we have to check whether this exists at all. First check whether limit of x tending to minus 3 from left hand side of f of x is what, and then we will check the limit of f of x as x tends to minus 3 from positive side. As you can see, for the left hand side of minus 3, if that is minus 3, on the left hand side of it we have this function here, and for the right hand side of it we have the green function. And so for the left hand side we will use x square minus 2x minus 9. So at x equal to minus 3 we see that the value is 6, as we have already calculated. Also, limit of f of x as x tends to minus 3 from the positive side, that means we have to put x is equal to minus 3 for the green function. So putting x is equal to minus 3 in green function, we see that it's minus 3 plus 9, which is 6 again. And we see that both these functions have the same value. So the limit of f of x as x tends to minus 3 exists, and both these are equal to 6. So the function is continuous at x is equal to minus 3. Now let us check whether function is continuous at x is equal to 2. So we have to check whether the limit of function as x tends to 2 is equal to f of 2. Let us first calculate f of 2. So at x is equal to 2, we have f of x value as 9 plus 2, which is 11. And so let's see whether limit of f of x as x tends to 2 is 11. But first we have to check whether the limit of f of x as x tends to 2 exists at all. When x tends to 2 from left hand side, that means function is x plus 9 or the green functions. Note that we cannot use the red function because we just need the values nearer to 2 but which are less than 2. So the appropriate function for x less than 2 will be the green function. And so the limit of f of x as x tends to 2 from left hand side will be x plus 9 or 2 plus 9 that will be 11. For the limit of f of x as x tends to 2 from the right hand side, so we have to go for the values of x which are greater than 2, and for the values greater than 2 the function defined is 10 over x plus 3. If we put x is equal to 2 here, we see that the value is 10 over x plus 3, or 10 over 2 plus 3, which is 2, and so the limit does not exist here. So we see that the function is discontinuous at x is equal to 2. I hope this example has made it clear for you to understand the continuity or discontinuity. Now let's check the case of removable discontinuity. In this case, we have a function x square minus 4 divided by x minus 2, which is shown in green, but there is a hole at x is equal to 2. That means the function is defined somehow differently at x is equal to 2. And the value of the function at x is equal to 2 is given as 7, which you can see in purple text, and the graph is shown in green. If we have to check the continuity of the function at x is equal to 2, we can clearly see through the graph that the function is discontinuous at x is equal to 2 because there is a hole. But what if this particular graph was not given to you? What is the way to check whether the function is continuous or not? Again, the same thing. You have to check whether the limit of f of x as x tends to 2 is equal to f of 2. Now you know that f of 2 is 7, and you just have to check whether the limit of f of x as x tends to 2 is 7 or not. But first, let's see whether the limit exists at all. So limit of f of x as x tends to 2 from left hand side, and limit of f of x as x tends to 2 from the right hand side. These two will be calculated. As you can see, x square minus 4 divided by x minus 2 can be written as x minus 2 times x plus 2 divided by x minus 2, which is nothing but x plus 2 itself. So this function is nothing but x plus 2 itself. And so we see that the limit as we tend towards 2 from left hand side, doesn't matter which side we are approaching it, the function remains x plus 2 on the right hand side of x is equal to 2 and on the left hand side of x is equal to 2. So both these limits are equal to 4 and both are equal. That means the limit exists, but the function value at x is equal to 2 is not equal to 4. Since 4 is not equal to 7, we see that this condition is not satisfied. There is a discontinuity at x is equal to 2. Since very easily we can define this function at x is equal to 2 to be equal to 4. So we can just delete this 7 and write 4. So we can then make this function continuous, since we'll be writing f of 2 is equal to 4 in that case. And so these kind of discontinuities are called as removable discontinuities, because which are easily removable by just defining the value of the function at the given point. So these are some types of discontinuities, and this is how you could check the continuity or discontinuity at given points using graphs, or if you cannot draw the graphs, you can check the continuity by using the limits. That's it for this video, and I hope you're enjoying the content on this particular channel. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up and share this video with as much aspirants as you can, so that all of you have the chance to learn something so important. Also, do not forget to subscribe this channel, because we are going to put a lot of new content on this channel. Please also let us know in the comment section whether you want more problems on this topic and which other topics would you like to study next in the calculus section. Thank you so much for hanging around, and I'll see you around very soon. तब तक के लिए ज्ञान पीते रहिए.